Greetings, coders. In this video, we're going to look at getting string input from either a file or from standard input using the function fgets. Fgets takes in three parameters. It takes in the string where the input's going to go, the maximum length of input that's allowed, and the file that we're going to receive the input from. Now, for how we'll use it initially is for reading input from standard in using the standard in file pointer that's provided automatically with NC. So fgets is going to receive characters from the source until receiving either a new line, an end of file, or it reaches the specified size of the second parameter. Now, it'll store all this input into the first parameter, and it also includes the new line that's entered, if a new line's entered, in the input. With fgets returning all of the input, including the new line, we're typically going to want to clean out the new line because, for example, imagine if the user was entering in their name, John Smith, we wouldn't want to capture that new line at the end. It might mess up some of our displays for how we're displaying data and whatnot. So typically you'd want to remove the new line from the input. And so how do we go about doing this? Well, fortunately, the output coming out of fgets is also a C string. So we can use our C string tools to help us do this. But to get started, the best way to do this would be to remove this new line when it exists in this position. We wanted to do this specifically for this case where we have a length of 3 including the new line. We could hard code it. So a hard coded solution would be that we just replace the string 2 at this position with the \0 or make it equal to 0, as we see here. That'll make it end at this position, so we no longer have the new line anymore. And that's effectively shortened the string for us while also removing the new line. We want a more dynamic approach. We need a more dynamic approach that doesn't rely on a hard-coded solution. Unfortunately, using 2 only will only work for 2-letter words that are ended with a return. So we want something more dynamic, something that is based off of the length of the string that's entered in so that we can then have this work for any length of string. So we know that we have the null terminator on the end, so we can use something similar to the string length from the homework where we count character until we reach the null terminator. And then in this case, the length that would make the length of this string 3. 1, 2, 3, and then it reaches the null terminator. So if we subtract 1 from that, then we get the index that we're wanting. We get the index of 2 to replace it at automatically and dynamically. For the rest of the examples, we will use strlen for short, but it's doing the same thing that we're doing in the homework. So now we have string, strlen, string -1 equals our null terminator. And so we end up with hi and the replaced value, and that's it. And so now we have reduced it down to hi. So mission accomplished, right? We're done. What happens though if there's not a new line in the input? And that's possible to do. What if the input was received in end of file? What if we used printf to do that? For example, if we've used printf in seen that in bash before, and printf output may not have a new line on the end, so it's going to rely on the end of file instead of a new line at the end. So what happens if that is the case, if there's no new line on the end? Well, now our inputted string looks like this, except if we use what we just talked about, the strlen str -1, then we have now cut off the I instead of cutting off the new line. What can we do? Well, we just need to verify that the last character before the null terminator is actually a /n or a new line, and then remove that one. So let's take a look at this code up here and let's see what it does. If str equals strlen string -1, so this is the same check where we used the last time. We're just checking to verify that a new line is actually there. If there is a new line there, then we remove it. That way, if there's not, like this last example, I/0, then we don't inadvertently remove the I, which is data that we want to keep. And that's it for this video.